My circumstances that led here are becoming a common theme. The lack of affordable housing in the city is bringing people to rely on shelters.
Organizations that house unsheltered or abused individuals received major funding on Thursday. Over $6 million will go towards projects and organizations aimed at ending homelessness.
Before coming here, I was actually living in a rooming house that really wasn't that good.
Ed Bird lives at Nadinawaymak, an Indigenous-led community resource that can house up to 125 people. Bird was recently hired on as staff and will be looking for his own apartment soon.
I think I have just a positive outlook now.
Nadinawaymak received nearly $2 million in provincial funding to continue their work with culturally relevant programming. Daniel Hidalgo works with unsheltered individuals through the Sabe Peace Walkers. He says Bird's story shows that efforts to end homelessness can work, but more funding is needed because success comes from longevity.
Supporting them with mental health, supporting them with safety, security, but also being there for their progress. That's a huge thing, knowing that there's been a support from the start when you were down, and helped you, and they were there as you started to rise up. You know, being there and seeing their growth and seeing them be who they've always been capable of being.
Ministers Rochelle Squires and Kelvin Kurtzen were on hand to announce another $4 million in funding to other organizations, including the West Central Women's Resource Centre, who received nearly $1 million to provide transitional housing services for women fleeing harmful situations.
If they don't have safe and stable housing to go to, often they'll return to their abusers, and on average it takes about 7 tries for people to leave those situations permanently. So one of the ways to address the backlog in shelters and to ensure that people have the time they need to heal from the trauma they've experienced is to offer them safe housing options like what we're proposing.
Executive Director Lori English says the 16 units they can create with this funding will not be enough, but it's a start to a long-term solution. Addressing addiction issues was also a topic of conversation today. Minister Squires wouldn't say if safe consumption sites were in Manitoba's future, but did say they're working on addressing the root causes of addictions. And Homelessness Winnipeg CEO Jason Whitford says he can see safe consumption sites in Manitoba's future.
They're gradually stepping closer to having a safe consumption resource. I know organizations are talking about that at different tables, maybe informally. We need to all be on the same page on that one, and it needs to be invested in and done properly.
Another $500,000 was invested into the Homes for Heroes Veterans Village, which will construct 20 tiny homes that will have on-site counseling for military veterans. The province also making some changes to Rent Assist, which will see up to $80 more each month for some families. In Winnipeg, Mike Albanese, City News.